Phoenix. The Los Angeles Angels in second place in the American League West with a record of 39 and 32. The Angels batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Third baseman Sean Figgins leads off, followed by the shortstop Eric Ibar. Bobby Abreu bats third, then Torrey Hunter in the cleanup spot. The left fielder Juan Rivera will bat fifth, then catcher Mike Napoli. First baseman Rob Quinlan, second baseman Sean Rodriguez, and the Angels pitcher John Lackey. The Angels face 33-year-old left-hander Doug Davis, who comes in with a record of 3-8, but a good earned run average.
Yeah, the veteran left-hander is 3-8 somehow with an ERA in the mid-threes. But he's a veteran, and he knows what he's doing out there. Been around a long time now.
Has not received much run support from his teammates this season. Reached for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. A 12-3 victory for the Angels last night. Their third in a row. Diamondbacks have lost 3 straight. And the first pitch from Davis to Sean Figgins is high, ball 1. The sprint pitcher profile for the 11-year veteran.
Well, he's effectively wild. He'll throw a few pitches about 6 feet out of the zone and then throw 3 in a row on the corner.
Now 2-0 to Figgins.
And this is kind of a showcase showdown, Kenny, because with the Diamondbacks toiling in last place, there's a lot of teams that could use a veteran left-hander. So he's pitching for a few other teams, and he's snake bit. Only 3 wins with that good ERA.
Thank you, Mr. Barker.
That's right. Now, if I could just get the Barker's beauties, then we'll be in good shape.
Or should I say Mr. Carey? 2 balls, 1 strike. Sean Figgins leading off for the Angels. Here in Phoenix, Davis missing low and away, 3-1. Eric Ibar on deck, then Bobby Abreu. A 3-1 from Davis, missing inside, and Figgins throws a leadoff walk. We check out the Diamondbacks in the field. Tony Clark at first base, Felipe Lopez at second, Stephen Drew at short, Mark Reynolds at third. From left to right of the outfield, Alex Romero, Gerardo Parra, and Justin Upton with Miguel Montero behind the plate. The battery of Davis and Montero.
Great speed on the bases now with Figgins. He's got 23 stolen bases. Doug Davis has a very good pickoff move, so Figgins is going to have to be careful over there. Doug Davis having trouble throwing strikes.
Figgins, the Angels' franchise leader in steals. Led the American League back in 2005. Eric Ibar takes a called strike. 1-1.
That's that cut fastball that Doug Davis likes to throw. It's only about 81, 82 miles an hour. That is a fastball, Kenny. But he'll get a lot of swings and misses with it.
Ibar, a switch hitter, batting from the right side against the left-hander Davis, who throws to first. You mentioned Figgins with 23 steals this season. He ranks 4th in the American League, 5th in the majors. Another throw over from Doug Davis.
That's what speed does. And Figgins, you get some speed over there. That's going to get a lot of fastballs to the plate for the rest of the hitters. And it also is just something else for Doug Davis or any pitcher to have to think about. Something else to think about besides the hitter.
Figgins holds, ground ball to the right side. Clark steps on first, the throw to second. Double play.
Well, what a good play there by Tony Clark. What I like is he just remains under control. And that's all you have to do as a first baseman. The ground ball took him right to the bag. Just take your time and make a good solid throw. Veteran Tony Clark, he's hit a couple of home runs the last couple of nights. Now he's going to get a few more starts. Mike Scioscia's out having an argument with Randy Marsh right now. He thought the ball was foul. But he'll go back to the dugout now. Randy Marsh, veteran umpire, has never lost an argument.
His 28th season in the major leagues.
What do you think here, Kenny? Is this fair or foul?
I thought perhaps that Sosa felt Clark did not step on first base.
Oh, is that what it was? Well, now you just piqued my interest, Kenny. I was thinking fair or foul here, and it was stepping on the bag, huh?
And the Angels dugout, of course, on the first base side. The 1-0 to Abreu, missing high and away. Ball 2.
Okay, there's the. Oh yeah, his left foot was on the bag, no question. We got to tell Alfredo Griffin, the first base coach, to get out of the way so we can tell.
Davis behind now, 3-0. Bobby Abreu batting .300 this season. His career numbers against Davis. Three and one with Torrey Hunter waiting on deck should Abreu reach.
Torrey was getting a little lippy with Chris Rose down earlier today, wasn't he?
Torrey and Chris having some fun as Davis catches the inside corner.
I like that running over the catcher thing.
Torrey's manager, Mike Sosa, has been on the receiving end of many collisions at home plate during his playing career.
He was like running into a wall.
Payoff pitch, second walk of the inning issued by Davis. Well, you heard from Torrey Hunter on our pregame show last night. Second inning, he takes Billy Buckner deep. His 17th home run of the season. Angels scored 8 runs in the inning.
And that was the last pitch Billy Buckner threw at the major league level, because he was sent to AAA earlier this morning.
And the Diamondbacks called up relief pitcher Leo Rosales. Strike one to Torrey Hunter. Leads the Angels in home runs and runs batted in. He's 5th in the league in RBIs. Having a terrific season. He's also 4th in all-star balloting among American League outfielders. Popped up, shallow right. And the catch is made by Justin Upton. So Abreu stranded. Middle of the first, no score here in Phoenix. Diamondbacks with a record of 30-44. Their batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Felipe Lopez leads off, followed by Stephen Drew. Justin Upton hits third. Mark Reynolds in the cleanup spot. Then center fielder Gerardo Parra. First baseman Tony Clark. Catcher Miguel Montero. The left fielder Alex Romero. And pitcher Doug Davis will hit ninth. So Felipe Lopez, switch hitter, batting from the left side against the right-hander. 30-year-old John Lackey making his ninth start this season. He began the season on the disabled list due to a right forearm injury. Lackey with a record of 2-3 over his first 8 starts.
Yeah, the big right-hander, World Series hero not long ago, winning Game 7. Back and healthy. Angels need him in the starting rotation. They need him healthy.
He won Game 7 as a rookie back in 2002 against the Giants. The sprint pitcher profile for John Lackey.
Well, as we've already seen here with Felipe Lopez, he's got a swing and miss curveball. BYOB. Well, no, that's not what you're probably hoping for there, Kenny. But BYOB is be your own bullpen. The Angels have really struggled in the 7th and 8th innings this year. They've lost a lot of games in the 7th and 8th. So John Lackey needs to be his own bullpen and lengthen his starts.
And the third note, extend his Fox pitch count. He has already thrown more pitches today than in his last start on Fox, Mark, and you were there.
I was there in Texas. John Lackey, and last time he was the starting pitcher on Fox Saturday Baseball, he lasted 2 pitches. He was ejected by home plate umpire Bob Davidson after 2 pitches, hitting Ian Kinsler. So, he's deep into the game now.
And that was his first start coming off the disabled list as Lopez sends this one to deep center field. No problem for Torrey Hunter. Hunter joined in the outfield by Juan Rivera and Bobby Abreu. Rob Quinlan giving Kendry Morales the day off today, playing first base. Sean Rodriguez at second, Eric Ibar at short, Sean Figgins at third, Mike Napoli behind the plate. Torrey Hunter, 8 consecutive Gold Glove awards in center field.
What a great player. He just finds all kinds of ways to beat you, Torrey. How easy did he make that deep drive to center look?
So with one away, here's Stephen Drew. Drew went deep last night. His 5th home run of the season off winning pitcher Jared Weaver. Lackey missing inside 1-1. 3rd inning last night. A 2-run shot after the Angels took an 8-0 lead after 2. First home run allowed by Weaver since early May. Jared Weaver now 5th in the American League in earned run average.
He actually, for Jared Weaver, he kind of struggled last night. I mean, yes, he got through 6 innings, gave up only 3 runs, but when you're pitching as well as he is, I guess that's struggling.
1-2, and Drew fouls it back. In Weaver's prior start last weekend, he was matched up against his brother Jeff of the Dodgers.
Yeah, the older picked on him, didn't he?
Mom and Dad wore half and half jerseys that night.
Great.
Half Dodgers, half Angels. Stephen Drew knows what it's like to play against your brother, although not in a pitching matchup.
Exactly. They one a shortstop, one a right fielder.
Third brother Tim was a pitcher drafted by the Indians. And Drew with a 1-out single. Diamondbacks have their first base runner of the afternoon. So with Justin Upton stepping to the plate, we check in downstairs with Torrey Hunter's good friend Chris Rhodes.
That's right, Kenny. You know, the Diamondbacks have the 2nd worst record in the National League, but despite that, their rookie manager, AJ Hinch, says they should have 3 players in the Midsummer Classic July 14th in St. Louis. Pitcher Danny Herron, third baseman Mark Reynolds, and this guy that's at the plate, Justin Upton. I told Upton that AJ Hinch went to bat for him and called Phillies manager Charlie Manuel, who's going to be managing the senior circuit in the All-Star game. He said he appreciated it, but he understands he's 21. He might not get that pull just yet. Now, once again, the manager picks the reserves, but also the players vote for him as well. Mark Grace, do the guys in the National League know just how good Justin Upton is?
I don't think so yet. I think right now he's toiling on a last place team, but this kid is one of the best young players, and he is young, just 21 years old. He is in the top 10 in National League outfielders in 10 offensive categories.
Look at some of Justin's numbers. He was the National League Player of the Month in May. Drew on the move. Here's the throw from Napoli. And now Drew thought about going to third, but will stay put. Stephen Drew with his second steal of the season.
And Stephen Drew has great speed. He just doesn't steal many bases. Boy, you have to wonder if that's an error right there on Sean Rodriguez. I mean, that's a perfect throw. Just flat out dropped there. I guess that'll go as a stolen base.
Drew credited with a steal.
What a great throw. Mike Napoli thinking, what do I have to do?
So the Diamondbacks with a runner in scoring position as a team, batting just .224 with runners in scoring position this year. As Lackey misses low and away, now 3-1.
And Justin Upton's going to start getting, well, it's 70s night here, or day here, Kenny. So all the guys are up on the Jumbotron in what would be their 70s look. I see my pass list. They got here.
Some fans taking it to the extreme.
Mission accomplished. They got on TV.
For 2 hours prior to the ball game, we had the pleasure of listening to 70s music.
Yes.
Music videos up on the video board in center field. There is our producer Jeff Gowen on the left, director Ray Tipton on the right.
It's good to see them enjoying the ball game.
Bottom of the first inning here in Phoenix. John Lackey facing the Diamondbacks for the first time in his career. He's been terrific in interleague play, 12-4 against the National League. Ball 4 to Upton, so the Diamondbacks have runners on first and second with only one out.
You rarely see 21-year-olds get pitched around at the major league level. That's exactly what just happened after the stolen base stuff by Stephen Drew. Nothing but wide ones to Justin Upton. They're going to take their chances with Mark Reynolds.
A guy that A.J. Hinch was gushing about when we spoke with the Diamondbacks manager earlier today. Chris Rose mentioned Reynolds, one of 3 Diamondback players Hinch has lobbied for, as he has left voice messages back and forth with Philly skipper Charlie Manuel. They have not yet spoken. Phillies are north of the border in Toronto this weekend. Reynolds with 21 home runs, 53 runs batted in, and that is what he would have looked like
and that's
back in the 70s.
That would be nothing to gush about. That's the more 2009 Mark Reynolds. The guy, the
picture on the scoreboard looks like Doug Henning. Remember the magician? Reynolds takes a called strike. He also strikes out a lot. He set a major league record last year. Has struck out exactly 100 times in 72 games so far this season.
That's just so many strikeouts, but 21 home runs, 53 RBIs. So productive.
3-1.
He possesses what I call, Kenny, light tower power. He can hit it as far as anybody in the game, maybe even further.
Led the club with 28 home runs last year. On pace this season to eclipse 40.
He should get a fastball somewhere in the zone if he gets it. This is where you want to swing it with bad intentions. I got a curveball and missed.
Second consecutive walk issued by Lackey. And the Diamondbacks, as was the case last night, have loaded the bases early in the ballgame.
In the first inning last night, the Diamondbacks loaded the bases. Jared Weaver wiggled out of trouble with a couple of strikeouts, and that got all the momentum into the Angel dugout. They went on to score 8 runs in the very next inning, the top of the second. So another opportunity here for the Diamondbacks. Let's see if they can cash in here this afternoon.
With the bases full, it's the 22-year-old rookie Gerardo Parra, who was the National League Rookie of the Month back in May. Reached base in his first 17 games. Homered in his first major league at bat. Right back to the box. Lackey gets the force at home. Now the throw to first. The 1-2-3 double play to end the inning. Bell, think outside the bun. By Sprint, get more done with Nextel Direct Connect, only on the Now Network. And by Gillette Fusion, Gillette's closest, most comfortable shave. Top of the second inning here in the Valley of the Sun. Diamondbacks loaded the bases for the second straight game in the bottom of the first inning, but came away with nothing. And now Juan Rivera leads off against Doug Davis. In the second, Rivera having a terrific season, hitting .308. He's hit 5 home runs in his last 11 games. Finally back from a broken leg. Suffered during winter ball a couple of years back.
Finally getting himself healthy. And when he is healthy, he is a terrific hitter. He's shown it this year.
Rivera's best season came in 2006 prior to the injury. He hit 23 home runs, drove in 85 runs. Facing the left-handed Davis, Rivera this season batting .418 against left-handed pitching. Once again, Vladimir Guerrero not in the Angels starting lineup.
With a fresh haircut.
Yes. Finally hit a home run the other night. His first in 28 games. Angels playing in the National League ballpark, so they cannot use the DH. Guerrero did pinch hit in last night's game. Missed 35 games earlier this season due to a torn chest muscle.
That just sounds painful.
Ooh. I think it's what happened to Chris after he was run over at the plate by Torrey Hunter.
No kidding.
Rivera, left field. Romero back on the track, and he makes the catch. So Alex Romero runs it down for the first out of the inning. Well, next week on Fox Saturday Baseball, guess who will be back, Mark?
Who?
Manny Ramirez,
Oh,
Dodgers and the Padres. Next Saturday, some of you will see the Mets and the Phillies. Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Pepsi, returns next week at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on Fox. Check local listings for the game in your area. Barring any rainouts this week, Manny Ramirez eligible to return to the Dodgers on Friday, July 3rd, following his 50-day suspension, or 50-game suspension, and his stint in the minor leagues this week.
He was down in Albuquerque, wasn't he?
Playing for the Albuquerque Isotopes.
Back when I was in the minor leagues, it was the Albuquerque Dukes. Changed a little bit.
If the name Isotope sounds familiar, comes from the fictional team on the hit Fox show The Simpsons.
That's true. I didn't put that 2 and 2 together, Kenny. You're always 2 steps ahead of me.
Here's the 0-2 to Napoli. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big game for Albert Pujols. A DirecTV game break coming up shortly. A 1-2 to the Angels catcher, and Napoli rips it into right. And the catch is made by Upton for out number 2. Time now for that aforementioned DirecTV game break. We send it downstairs to Chris.
Yeah, Kenny. Kevin Slowey going after his big league leading 11th win of the year, but Albert Pujols going after him in the first. A 2-run crank, his 27th of the year, but he's back for more in the third, and it hurts to even watch. 6 times this year he's hit at least 2 homers in a game. He leads the league in homers and RBI. Cards win at 5-3. Remember to follow your favorite out-of-market team only on DirecTV.
All right, thanks, Chris. Here's Rob Quinlan with 2 outs in the top of the 2nd inning. So 2 home runs for Pujols today. How about Andre Ethier of the Dodgers, who hit 3 in yesterday's game against Seattle?
That was a month of home runs for me, at least. Torrey Hunter did it earlier this year. Albert Pujols just makes it look easy, doesn't he?
No doubt he will be representing his St. Louis Cardinals in his hometown in the All-Star game on Fox coming up on July 14th.
Good town for the All-Star game, St. Louis. What a great baseball town with great fans.
The Pepsi All-Star pregame show will get underway at 8 p.m. right here on Fox, Tuesday, July 14th. Followed by the Midsummer Classic from Busch Stadium in St. Louis. These 2 teams will host the next 2 All-Star games. The All-Star game will be in Southern California at Angel Stadium next year, and right here in Phoenix in 2011. Stephen Drew across to Clark, and the Angels are retired in order in the 2nd inning. Balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. Kenny Albert, Mark Grace, Chris Rose back with you from Phoenix, Arizona. No score, bottom of the second inning, as Tony Clark steps in against John Lackey. The 6'7" Clark up against 6'6" Lackey.
A couple of big old pachyderms going toe to toe here.
Both terrific all-around athletes in high school. Clark grounds out to Eric Ibar. Clark broke some of Bill Walton's scoring records in the San Diego area, playing basketball in high school.
Attended the University of Arizona and San Diego State University and played basketball at both schools.
As Miguel Montero steps in, John Lackey, a three-sport star in high school. Down in Texas, he was the starting quarterback for the football team, playing in front of 15,000 fans per night on Fridays. He was the starting center on the basketball team. And an all-state first baseman. He pitched only 14 innings in high school. The football coach did not want him to hurt his arm.
No kidding. And he played first base.
Played first base. His dad was the assistant coach of the baseball team.
Okay.
But he pitched only 14 innings in high school. He's gone on to win 93 Major League games over his first 8 seasons, including, as you mentioned, Game 7 of the 2002 World Series. A DirecTV game break coming up. Speaking of the World Series, a World Series rematch. Phillies and Blue Jays this weekend in Toronto.
That was Joe Carter off Mitch Williams. Well, it's been a long time.
It's been a big week of World Series rematches for the Phillies. They just got finished with a series against the Tampa Bay Rays.
Tampa's starting to play a little better.
Foul back to the screen. Count remains 2-2 on Montero with Alex Romero waiting on deck. The Tampa Bay Rays have won 3 in a row, 6 games out in the American League East. Lifted into shallow center, and it will drop in front of Torrey Hunter. A one-out single off the bat of Montero as we check in with Chris downstairs. Time for another DirecTV game break.
Yeah, here's that rematch you were talking about. Jason Worth, 4 for 4 on the day, 2 big flies, and that one that's still going. That's Conseco-ville up there in Toronto. And Jay Hopp, his first career complete game. Phils had lost 11-13, but they shut him out 10-0. Remember to follow your favorite out-of-market team only on DirecTV. Guys, remember when Conseco hit that one up there in the 89 ALCS?
That's now going to have to be called Jason Worthville.
Worthville. That's a town of what, 2,700?
2,700 in Virginia.
Okay.
Jason Worth having a terrific season. Phillies hanging on to first place. Just barely.
Good battle. Good battle back there in the East. Both the America and the National.
1-1 now on Alex Romero, who was called up from AAA yesterday to replace Eric Burns on the Diamondbacks roster. 4 teams within 4.5 games in the National League East. Montero takes his lead off first. Ground ball to the shortstop. Ibar, the flip to Rodriguez. On to first, and Romero is safe. He beats the throw. And Mike Scioscia out of the dugout to chat once again with Randy Marsh.
Scioscia and Randy getting to know each other pretty well here this afternoon. I think Scioscia's got a pretty good argument here. It looked like the throw just nipped him.
I agree.
Tough to tell from there, but nice turn there by Rodriguez.
Number 49, Doug
Yeah. The veteran missed it, so Scioscia, unfortunately, he loses another argument. Yeah, you can see the throw just barely beat him. So the Diamondbacks get a break.
Could not have been much closer than that. So with 2 outs, here's Davis. Doug Davis with 5 hits this season and 25 at bats. Two outs, bottom of the second inning. Pitch from Lackey in the dirt, ball 2.
Doug Davis in his career has been a very poor hitter. This year, pretty respectable. 200.
But a better hitter than John Lackey. Davis flies out to Abreu in right, and we will see Lackey at the plate. He will bat second when we return.
It's a good mask. You wear the light mask or the heavy mask?
I wear that titanium. I went through like 2 or 3 of these. I know that heavier, they take more absorption.
Yeah.
I went to that titanium, and I've taken a couple good shots. It hadn't bothered me.
Yeah. I tried that titanium, and during spring training, the jolt that I took was amazing.
I haven't been smoked yet. That's what people say to the sliders.
So I went back to the old school mask, because this one takes it best. Thanks, brother. Hefe!
Blue Crew, find the top appliance brand most perfect for you. No score as we move to the 3rd inning. Sean Rodriguez, the Angels' second baseman, leading off against Doug Davis. Rodriguez takes ball 1, called up by the Angels 2 weeks ago. He was leading the Pacific Coast League at the time with 21 home runs, 60 runs batted in.
That's a hitting machine right there.
Rodriguez, 5 different stints with the Angels last season. Now 2-1 with Lackey waiting on deck, and then Figgins. Rodriguez making his 4th start at second base for the Angels. They sent Howie Kendrick down to AAA, and Myceres Turris has the afternoon off.
Yeah, Howie Kendrick hit over 300 the last couple of years. Good curveball.
First strikeout for Davis.
Well, this ball just never gets there. You can see Rodriguez way out in front of it. Good pitch.
So with 1 away, here's Lackey. We told you about his success or lack thereof at the plate.
Yeah, that kind of had some yuckiness to it, those numbers.
He was 0 for 27 in his career before he finally picked up his first career base hit and run batted in.
Well, looked a little bit hitterish with that swing there. So he got a base hit his last time?
Off Barry Zito 12 days ago.
Yeah, might as well get it off a Cy Young Award winner.
So now 1 for 28 in his career. An .036 batting average. The 0-2 from Davis. Missing high. 1-2.
Tell you what, if he ever does make some contact, I would imagine this big man can hit it a long ways. He looks a little bit hitterish, doesn't he? It doesn't really look like 036.
Well, we mentioned earlier he was a first baseman in high school.
No, us first baseman, we're not going to allow anybody to hit 036. He's a pitcher.
Lackey did not go around, says first base umpire Randy Marsh. Called strike 3, so Lackey now 1 for 29 in his career at the plate. Time now for the Bank of America hometown fan cam on 70s Day here in Phoenix. Fan cam brought to you by Bank of America Home Loans, making a commitment to home and to homeowners. Starting now, home has a new address.
A lot of chest hair. Oh, there's our guy, Chris Rose.
You look good, Chris.
Thank you. I feel a little bit like a cross between Oscar Gamble and Juan Epstein from Welcome Back, Kotter. I have a note signed Epstein's mother that I can do the rest of this game.
Oh, that is funny.
Now 2-0 on Figgins. Funny you should mention Oscar Gamble. Our producer Jeff Gowen told us yesterday that he once caught a home run
from Oscar Gamble.
Hit by Oscar Gamble.
Really?
At Yankee Stadium back in 1976.
Solid.
His hand still hurts.
Gracie, you ever have the fro working back in the day? Anything?
No. I had long blonde hair. It was bad. It looked like Tom Petty.
Did it look like that?
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I looked terrible.
Yeah. Kenny came out of the womb with that hair, so we know that that thing hasn't changed.
There's a couple of Chris Rose looks.
Yeah.
Does that thing itch, Chris?
Does it itch?
Yeah.
No more so than the hair on my chest.
Figgins right field. Upton. Inning comes to an end. I could use a haircut. Middle of the third. No score. See you later, Oscar.
Peace.
Felipe Lopez leads off for the Diamondbacks on 70s Day at the ballpark. Lopez fly to Torrey Hunter in center field, his first time up. Now 1-1 on Lopez. Top of the order, Lopez, Drew, and Upton for the Diamondbacks here in the third. One and two. Lopez, an all-star back in 2005.
Having another good year this year, hitting over 300.
Represented the Cincinnati Reds in the 05 All-Star game. Lopez down on strikes. First strikeout for John Lackey today. Well, MLB and People Magazine are recognizing individuals who have made a difference in their community. Go to peopleallstars.com. Vote for your favorite everyday All-Star who could represent your club and be honored at the 2009 All-Star Game in St. Louis, July 14th on Fox. And these are the three finalists representing the Diamondbacks franchise. Drew, deep right field. Abreu on the warning track. Abreu under it. He makes the catch. So quickly 2 away here in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, you can see Stephen Drew grimacing. He's disappointed himself. He got a good pitch to hit right down the middle. He just got it off the end of the bat enough to keep it in the ballpark.
So with 2 away, Justin Upton, who walked his first time up. Upton's 8-game hitting streak came to an end last night. Diamondbacks had only 6 hits in last night's game, a 12-3 loss. The three finalists representing the Angels. Once again, log on to peopleallstars.com. The winners will be announced Monday and will attend the All-Star game in St. Louis July 14th. Lackey was an All-Star back in 2007, did not pitch in the game. Mark Grace, a 3-time All-Star back in the 90s.
Hitless.
Hitless in All-Star action.
I never got a hit in an All-Star game. 0 for 4.
But I would assume you had to face some pretty good pitchers.
I faced 4 different pitchers. Randy Johnson, Mark Langston, Jimmy Key, and I finally got a right-hander. A real easy guy named Mariano Rivera.
0 for 4, huh?
Yep, 0 for 4, and didn't even hit any of them hard. It was not a hard 0 for 4.
What was your best All-Star memory from those 3 games?
Well, one of them, the '95 game in Texas. That was fun. Boy, that wasn't for Justin Upton. Good inning there from John Lackey.
A 1-2-3, including a pair of Ks. By Valspar Paint. Valspar, the beauty goes on. By Avodart. And by Bank of America Home Loans. Starting now, home has a new address. Top of the fourth inning, no score. Eric Ibar leading off for the Angels against Doug Davis. Angels have had only 2 base runners over the first 3 innings. Davis issued a pair of walks in the first. He's retired the last 7 Angels he has faced. After Figgins led off the game with a base on balls, it was Ibar who grounded into a 3-3-6 double play. Shortstop Drew charging. One away. We spoke between innings with Arizona manager A.J. Hinch, and we asked A.J. why he feels both Mark Reynolds and Justin Upton deserve consideration for next month's All-Star game.
Well, they're both having terrific first halves, and there are a lot of what's right in the game. They play the game the right way. They can do damage anytime they get up to bat, and they're playing good defense. Mark in specific is playing first and third base. So with what they've done in the first half, I hope they get strong consideration and get in there.
Back-to-back nights and days now, you left the bases loaded with big opportunities in the first inning. Are they just trying a little too hard?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we get a guy in the ropes. Finding a way to get the ball in the outfield in any way you can is important there. Parra had a good approach. He got a pitch out over the plate, hit it back up the middle, and it went right to Lackey. So, as opposed to last night where he chased the ball, I felt like his approach was better. But bottom line is you got to find a way to get a run in when you got the bases loaded and 1 out.
Thanks, AJ. Best of luck.
We'll see you later.
Diamondbacks have gone 18-27 since Hinch replaced Bob Melvin back in early May. 0-2 on Bobby Abreu. Walked his first time up. Check swing. Ball 1, says Lance Barksdale, the third base umpire. 1-2 on Abreu with Torrey Hunter waiting on deck.
Just Bobby Abreu, just in my opinion, can he just might be the best player that just gets no accolades. His numbers are incredible.
One that stands out, 6 consecutive 100 RBI seasons the last 6 years. The only other players who have done that, Alex Rodriguez and Albert Pujols.
And for some reason, you just don't hear. I mean, he's done a lot of things in the game. I mean, he won a home run contest at the All-Star game in Detroit. You just don't hear enough about him, in my opinion.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Third strikeout for Davis. He is now retired. 9 in a row.
Doug Davis on a bit of a roll. His cut fastball goes to the outside corner. Watch the glove of Montero. Maybe a bit of an extended outside corner. Bobby Abreu slowly back to the dugout.
So with 2 away, here's Torrey Hunter. And the first pitch from Davis. Hunter as the Angels' first base hit of the ball game.
Left fielder Juan Rivera.
Juan Rivera going to get an opportunity here with 2 outs. He sent Alex Romero all the way to the base of the wall his first time up.
On the first pitch, a diving stop by Reynolds. The throw across to Clark to retire Rivera. Middle of the 4th here in Phoenix. Still no score.
On that baseball field, wasn't there?
Mark Reynolds at the plate, grew up in Virginia, as did the Uptons, David Wright, Ryan Zimmerman, so much young talent coming out of the same area.
Yeah, Ryan Zimmerman and Mark Reynolds played short and third at the University of Virginia. What is going on there? I didn't know Mark Reynolds was in that movie.
You learn something new every day. Reynolds walked his first time up. Reynolds, Parra, and Clark for the Diamondbacks here in the fourth. Fouled off to the right side, 2-1. It is 70s day here in Phoenix, and Mark, while you were busy working last night and Chris Rose was wig shopping,
right?
I was back in the hotel crunching some numbers, and I learned that 40% of the active players in Major League Baseball, 424 out of 1,068, were born during the 1970s.
Really? It was, I was born in '64, so I remember the set. Well, that was a fun decade.
Reynolds with a smash, a base hit into left field, and it gets by Rivera. Reynolds in standing at second.
Well, Mark Reynolds gets a fastball in the middle of the plate. He rips it right underneath the glove of Rivera. That'll go as a single and an error.
Little Billy Joel in the background.
Can't get enough of that.
First error committed by Juan Rivera this season. So the Diamondbacks have the leadoff man in scoring position here in the fourth inning with Gerardo Parra at the plate. It was Parra who came up with the bases loaded and one out in the first inning and bounced back to Lackey, who started the 1-2-3 double play. On the ground to the second baseman Rodriguez. So this time Parra able to move the runner over. Reynolds in at third. We chatted moments ago with Angels pitching coach Mike Butcher and talked about Lackey's performance so far today.
Yeah, he's been doing a nice job kind of picking at the zone a little bit with probably too many breaking balls early. And he's kind of settled down, got his fastball command going, and he's working some nice sequences right now.
Are you trying to get him deeper into games as you move him along this year?
Yeah, you know, he's been kind of getting deep. It's just obviously we want him getting deeper in the games, pitching off his fastball a little bit more, and just and start working some better sequences. His stuff is fine. His arm feels great. Just a matter of executing pitches right now.
Thanks, Mike. Good luck.
You got it, guys.
Good
We'll
luck,
see you.
Lackey facing Tony Clark, who grounded out to short his first time up, with Reynolds now on third base.
Well, Gerardo Parra, the previous batter, really gave himself up, pulling the ball to the right side to move Mark Reynolds to third and set up Tony Clark.
1-1 on Clark, who, as Mark mentioned earlier, has homered in each of the last two games. Fourth inning last night off Jared Weaver. Fourth of the year for Clark.
That was a long, long way to hit a line drive. Tony Clark getting a little long in the tooth, but he can still hit it a long, long ways.
Clark sends this one into center field. Hunt to the catch. Reynolds tags. The throw to the plate is not in time. Reynolds scores. Sacrifice fly. Run batted in for Tony Clark. The Diamondbacks lead 1-0.
Fundamental baseball by the Arizona Diamondbacks. There's the play by Hunter. All the way in the air. Mark Reynolds just ahead of the tag. Well, he timed that just perfect. He needed to. Mark Reynolds, for a big man, runs very well.
He does. 13 stolen bases this year. Scores the first run of this afternoon's game.
Diamondbacks take advantage of a Juan Rivera error.
Diamondbacks putting together an Angel-like inning.
Very well set. That's a Mike Scioscia Angel type inning, as you said. Get a guy on second, get the ground ball to the right side to move into third, and then a sacrifice fly to give yourself the lead. It's good baseball.
Montero pops it up to the left side in foul territory. Figgins makes the catch. Diamondbacks take the lead on an unearned run. 1-0 Arizona through 4. Top of the 5th inning in Phoenix. Kenny Albert, Mark Grace, Chris Rose coming to you on Fox Saturday Baseball. Mike Napoli leading off for the Angels. Lined out to Justin Upton in right field, his first time up. Strong outing over the first 4 innings for Doug Davis. With Napoli at the plate. We think back to June of 2006, Mark, when Napoli hit one of the longest home runs in the history of this ballpark. June 23rd, 2006. 470 feet. At the time, the 3rd longest home run in the history of this ballpark, and now ranks 4th. Richie Sexton with the longest home run, a 503-foot shot.
He hit the scoreboard in center field.
Apparently he hit his own headshot, right?
Hit himself in the face.
On the center field scoreboard. 3-1, Napoli fouls it back this way, full count.
I think Mike Napoli might have been trying to hit his face with that big swing. I don't mind that, though, Kenny. You get a 3-1 count, you get a pitch to your liking. Swing it with bad intentions.
Rob Quinlan waiting on deck. Here's the payoff pitch from Davis to Napoli. And a base hit up the middle. So for the second time this afternoon, the Angels have the leadoff man on. What a job the Angels have done, Mark, during interleague play this season. Look at their numbers: 12-4 against the National League, averaging over 6 runs per game. A game under 500 against their own league.
Pretty amazing. Well, they play a National League style of baseball, so they're certainly comfortable against these National League teams. And, well, they've been dominating them.
They swept the Padres, swept the Giants, split 6 games with the Dodgers. 12-4 overall during interleague play. Diamondbacks are 5-8 against the American League this season. 0-2 on Quinlan, who grounded out to short his first time up.
Well, that was a good cut fastball. And had some teeth right in on the belly button of Rob Quinlan.
You mentioned earlier Davis could be a guy who helps a playoff hopeful team down the stretch, and he's been strong so far this afternoon.
He's been terrific. Only 2 base hits thus far in the 5th inning. And he's working really crisply. Working fast, throwing strikes. And as a position player, you love playing behind guys that work fast. Keeps you on your toes.
Davis just 3-8, tied for the major league lead in losses, but has allowed only 3.5 earned runs per game.
And he's had some bad luck with either run support or Diamondback bullpen has blown some leads for him.
Count remains 0-2 on Quinlan. Napoli the runner on first. Top of the 5th inning, with the Diamondbacks leading 1-0.
Mel Stottlemyre Jr. giving the signs there next to A.J. Hinch. His dad was a good one, wasn't he?
Outstanding pitcher and pitching coach. Pitching coach with the '86 Mets and then some of the great Yankee teams of the late '90s.
Tough to argue with any of those numbers. Doug Davis twirling a gem as we speak.
Quinlan down on strikes. 4th strikeout this afternoon for Doug Davis. Time now, Mark, for our Gillette Power trivia question.
All right.
Torrey Hunter, currently 4th in American League All-Star balloting among outfielders. Who was the last Angel to start an All-Star game in center field? The last Angel to start an All-Star game in center field. We'll give the viewers a couple of minutes to think about it. Here's Sean Rodriguez, struck out his first time up as Davis keeps Napoli close. The All-Star rosters will be announced next Sunday, a week from tomorrow. 9 days prior to the All-Star game. Torrey Hunter 4th in balloting among outfielders behind Jason Bay, Ichiro, and Josh Hamilton.
Well, that was fun to watch Josh Hamilton last year, wasn't it?
What a performance during the home run derby. Although he finished 2nd.
Yeah. Something's not right about that.
Did most of his damage prior to the final round. And those home runs did not carry over.
Right. But they went really far. I mean, you grew up in Yankee Stadium. You ever see balls hit that far as Josh Hamilton was hitting them?
I was actually at the home run derby in the stands, and it may have been an illusion, but I thought some of Hamilton's home runs actually left the ballpark.
I was thinking they were. He was hitting them that far.
Now 3-0 as Davis falls behind with the pitcher Lackey waiting on deck. One on, one out. Top of the 5th inning. Rodriguez, the number 8 hitter, draws a 4-pitch walk. 3rd walk allowed by Davis, and the first since the 1st inning. Montero out for a chat. Well, be sure to catch Hooked, the new series premiering this week on the National Geographic Channel. Check your local listings.
Have you seen the promos for that?
I have not.
Some really large, ugly fish. Scary, like big teeth. And these guys just get in water and catch them. And I want no part of it.
First and second, Lackey. Throw down to second as Napoli gets back in.
That's a difficult read for runners at second base. You're trying to get a jump on the bunt. Watch Napoli gets out there a little too far. Just gets in ahead of the tag of Steven Drew.
Napoli the runner on second. Rodriguez over at first. With one out, Lackey at the plate. Called out on strikes his first time up. Squares to bunt. Lays down the bunt. It's a miscommunication between Davis and Reynolds. The throw from Reynolds. Lackey out at first. As both runners advance.
Boy, the Diamondbacks nearly had a large blunder. There's the break at second base. Opens up. Now the bunt. Mark Reynolds gets in between. Really made an athletic play. He ended up getting the out at first.
So the sacrifice by Lackey, moving the runners over. Now two outs. Here's Sean Figgins.
Good idea there by Sean Figgins. He was going to take a bunt up the first base side. That would have caught Big Tony Clark by surprise. He was back. That'll move him in a little bit now.
Napoli on third. Rodriguez takes his lead off second. Davis catching the outside corner. 1-1. Figgins walked in the first inning, fly to right in the third. Figgins.
Well, he's trying it.
Foul. 1-2.
And it is a good idea. You got a left-handed pitcher that falls off to the third base side. You've also got a first baseman that is a very big man and slow of foot. And Figgins can fly. It's a good idea. But now with two strikes, Big Tony Clark can back up. Figgins is going to have to swing it.
The 1-2 from Davis. Figgins swings and he pops it up to the right side. And the catch is made by the second baseman Lopez. So the Angels strand runners on second and third. Middle of the fifth inning. 1-0 Arizona. Kenny Albert, Mark Grace, and Chris Rose. Diamondbacks leading the Angels 1-0. Angels won last night's game 12-3. They scored 8 runs in the second inning, but a different story so far today. Alex Romero leading off against John Lackey, and the curve is in for a called strike. 0-1.
And we find ourselves smack dab in the middle of a pitcher's duel, Kenny. Both starters in complete control.
0-2 on Romero. The signal from Lance Barksdale, the third base umpire. Davis on deck. Then Lopez. Romero with a bloop into center field. So the Diamondbacks have their 4th hit of the game. The leadoff man on here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah.
Time now for another DirecTV game break. We head downstairs to Chris.
Kenny, Derek Lee had a 21-game hitting streak snapped earlier this week. This base hit, of course, Ryan Theriot. It's Cubs 2, White Sox 2, Milton Bradley against the water cooler. No report. Remember to follow your favorite out-of-market team only on DirecTV.
That's a fun series, Kenny.
Wow. Some fireworks in the Cubs dugout yesterday involving Milton Bradley and his manager Lou Piniella. Davis lays down the bunt, and it rolls just foul, scooped up by the first baseman Quinlan.
Yeah, just make sure don't ever leave a bag or a base, you young players out there, until the umpire tells you fair or foul. There's some sneaky shortstops and second baseman will say foul ball, get you to come off the bag and tag you.
So Romero heads back to first to look at the standings in the National League Central Division. Cardinals lead the Brewers by a half game. Cubs 3 out. When you think back to your playing career, do any manager-player dugout confrontations come to mind?
Oh man, yeah, they happen a lot more than you think. But back in the 90s, there just weren't as many. You know, it's just seen now, and you know, there weren't near as many cameras around, but now, you know, you do it now, it's going to be on every show, and you're going to have to explain your side of the story, and it's usually just better taken care of back in the tunnel or back in the clubhouse.
Davis down on strikes. So 1 away here in the Arizona 5th. Manny Ramirez returns to the Los Angeles Dodgers on Friday, and the Dodgers and Padres will get together on Fox next Saturday. Some of you will see the Mets and Phillies or the Tigers and Twins. Check local listings for the game in your area. Fox Saturday Baseball 1 week from today on Fox. Here's Felipe Lopez, who is 0 for 2, struck out his last time up. Romero, the runner on first with 1 out. Let's head downstairs to Chris.
Yeah, guys, the pregame show presented by Sears will be in San Diego next week for Manny Ramirez's what could be his second game back, could be his first game back if the Dodgers get rained out over the next week or so. Gracie, what do you think is going to be the reaction down there in San Diego?
No, I have a feeling. Yeah, I think he's going to be, as that's slammed into center field. But I think he's going to be welcomed back by his fans, and I think there's going to be, obviously, especially in San Diego, that being a big rivalry. You know, I think he's going to get his fair share of jeers. But I think, for the most part, I think Dodger fans, they love Manny Ramirez.
And I have a feeling there will be a lot of Dodger fans who make the drive down to San Diego for the series next weekend.
I mean, whether you love him or not, he's intriguing. He's a great hitter. But I also want to emphasize that he shamed himself and he shamed the game of baseball.
And he did say this week in Albuquerque, people love me. And
ask him.
He received mostly cheers during the minor league games he participated in.
But he's right. You know, outside of Boston now, people love him.
Stephen Drew with a drive, deep right field. Abreu back on the track. He makes the catch. Romero will tag. He is in standing at third. So the Diamondbacks now have runners on first and third with 2 outs.
Twice now Stephen Drew just missed a couple of balls to right field.
Justin Upton stepping to the plate as we answer our Gillette Power trivia question. Who was the last Angel to start in the All-Star game in center field?
He was a left-handed hitter, wasn't he?
You have to go all the way back to 1983. Freddie Lynn at Comiskey Park in Chicago. And he became the first player in baseball history to hit a grand slam in an All-Star game off Atlee Hammaker, extending the American League lead to 9-1. That was the last of 9 All-Star appearances for Fred Lynn. 4 career All-Star home runs in 20 All-Star at-bats. How about those numbers?
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't he the Rookie of the Year and the MVP in the same year?
Yes, 1975.
Well, what a player.
The 1-0 to Upton. And he sends it foul down the right field line as we head back downstairs to Chris.
More Fred Lynn knowledge for you. Do you know who his college roommate was, guys?
I do not. At USC, but I don't know who it was.
I have a feeling it was another guy who won a Rookie of the Year and an MVP award.
How about a Hall of Famer in football?
Exactly.
Super Bowl 10 MVP Lynn Swann. So he had Fred Lynn, Lynn Swann in the same dorm.
I did not know that.
There you go. Come on, Gracie.
Well, you know what? I expect those nuggets from Kenny. I don't expect them from you, Chris.
No, I'm as big a nerd as Kenny is. Don't worry. Don't worry, Gracie.
I mean, I'm getting double teamed here.
Yeah, that's what Kenny and I do on road trips. We throw useless sports trivia at each other.
Lynn Swann and Fred Lynn in the dorms.
Good job, Kenny. Good job. Way to get my back on that.
I got you, Chris. 2-2 on Upton.
My goodness. Justin Upton going to a knee. None too pleased with that. Big curveball from John Lackey. That's swinging it with bad intentions. Well, that hurts to watch. Well, to be 21 years old and you can swing like that, it doesn't hurt.
Romero on third, Lopez over at first. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning, 2-2 count on Justin Upton. Called strike 3. Upton down on strikes for the second time this afternoon. The Diamondbacks ran 2 in If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. By Zantac, heartburn, attack it. Zantac. And by the new Kentucky Grilled Chicken. Taste the unfried side of KFC. We move to the 6th inning here in Phoenix. Eric Ibar leading off against Doug Davis. Ibar 0 for 2, looking to bunt his way on. Davis with the throw, and it's behind Lopez, covering first. Ibar around second, heading for third. The throw is off the glove of Reynolds, and Ibar will score.
Well, that's the old Little League home run right there, Kenny. You rarely see it in the major leagues. But you can see that the idea is to bunt and bunt to the right side. Tony Clark commits, and then the throw behind, and it's off to the races. Justin Upton comes in. He's got a cannon, but he airmails it. And Alex Romero, the left fielder, there has to be backing up the play, and he's not. Here's the good bunt, and now for the Diamondbacks, everything just goes haywire. The good hustle there, and then nobody backing up third. And once it gets past Mark Reynolds, it's a tie ball game.
You said it perfectly, Mark. A Little League home run. A bunt. Ibar goes all the way around and scores. Two errors on the play. The first charge to the pitcher, Davis, on the throw. And the second charge to the right fielder, Upton.
You see the throw get away there, and then Upton just came in. He's got a great arm. He just airmailed it. Mark Reynolds couldn't make the play, and there's nobody backing up. The pitcher's not backing up. The left fielder's not backing up. As you can see, Doug Davis late getting there. Alex Romero, the left fielder. There's always some place to be, folks. Always some place to be on the baseball field. If the ball's not hit to you, there's always somewhere to go to back up a play. And D-backs got caught napping there.
Abreu strikes out for the second time. Well, we talked earlier, Mark, about Angels baseball, little ball. They rank first this season in bunt hits, second in steals, first in both sacrifice flies and sacrifice bunts.
I think they had all the above right there on that one play. And another thing, Kenny, that the Angels do better than anybody in baseball is go first to third on base hits.
Torrey Hunter 1 for 2 today. Singles his last time up. And he fished this one into left. And the catch is made by Romero for out number 2. Well, the All-Star game coming up July 14th on Fox. And Barack Obama will be on hand to throw out the first pitch. How about President Kennedy in 1962 in Washington? President Nixon in Cincinnati in 1970. President Ford in Philadelphia in 1976, first with the right hand and then with the left.
How about that? That was back when they threw it from their seat. Now they take it out to the mound, don't they?
They do. President Ford, the old offensive lineman at the University of Michigan, a terrific athlete. So President Obama will become the 4th sitting U.S. president to throw out the ceremonial first pitch at the All-Star game. Other presidents have attended All-Star games, including Franklin Roosevelt in 1937, Ronald Reagan in '89. He was up in the broadcast booth for a little while. And George Bush in 1991 and '92. Rivera with a shot into left field for a base hit. Again, it will all begin with the Pepsi All-Star pregame show at 8. The Major League Baseball All-Star game. The leading vote getter In the American League with 2.5 million votes, he turned 35 years of age yesterday. Yankees shortstop Derek Jeter.
The captain.
And over in the National League, it's a close race. Albert Pujols of the Cardinals, Chase Utley of the Phillies, both with just under 3 million votes. The leading vote getters over in the National League. Do you ever vote for yourself? Do you ever punch out some ballots?
No, but
Come on.
I made sure I shipped a bunch of ballots to Mom and Dad.
You never punched your own name?
No, you know what? I lied. Yes, I did. I wanted to go. It's fun. I think the highest I ever got in the voting was third.
Look at the leaders at each position in the National League.
How about the year Raul Ibanez is having in Philly? Shame he got hurt.
One to Napoli, and he serves one into left field. Rivera moves over to second. Diamondbacks fan who was selected to throw out the first pitch prior to the game today. As we check out the leaders in the American League, she was selected to throw out today's first pitch because she filled out how many ballots, Mark?
50,000 ballots.
50,000 All-Star ballots.
50,000 ballots she filled out. My goodness. I can't imagine. Well, where do you get them?
She obviously has almost as much time in her hands as Chris Rose.
I like that. I guess Chase Field gave her 50,000 ballots here in Arizona.
She was hard at work.
Well, whoever her favorite player was is probably going to go.
Guys, I couldn't hear you. I was busy punching my ballots, twiddling my thumbs. What did you say there, Kenny?
Oh, nothing.
It's true, though.
Hey, you know what?
What's that?
Let me ask you this, Chris and Kenny. How is Justin Upton 15th in the outfield vote in the National League? 15th with the numbers he's having.
Surprising considering one Diamondback fan filled out so many ballots.
Evidently, she didn't vote for Justin Upton.
Yeah, apparently. She was busy voting for Mark Grace still, looking for your name on the ballot.
You know who the leading vote getter of all time is?
I have to believe it's... Well, how about...
He plays in Seattle.
Yeah, okay. That explains it. Junior.
Alvin Davis?
Alvin Davis. Adrian Beltre.
Dave Valley.
Oh, man. Dave Valley. Dave Valley was a hard-working catcher, boy.
Julio Cruz. Are we still throwing out names?
You got it, Chris. Julio Cruz is the all-time leading vote getter.
Julio Cruz.
Ken Griffey Jr. over 48 million career votes.
Amazing.
Two on, two out. The 2-2 to Quinlan. Davis missing low and away.
Well, after the Little League home run, Davis settled down, retired the next two hitters, and now all of a sudden the Angels cooking up a brew here with two out in the sixth. First and second, now a 3-2 count. The runners are going to get a running start. Montero and Doug Davis having a little chat about what they want to do. This has been a long chat.
Quinlan 0 for 2 today. Struck out his last time up. Runners go. Payoff pitch. And Quinlan down on strikes for the second time. Sixth strikeout for Davis. Mark Reynolds, 21 home runs this season. He will lead off for the D-backs when we return.
Well, Rivera just doesn't get his tailgate down, stays stiff-legged with it, and it gets right underneath the glove, and that led to the only Diamondback run, an unearned run for Arizona, and just a really ugly run for the Angels.
First error committed this season by Rivera. So Reynolds at the plate. He's reached base twice today. A walk in the first, singled, and scored on a Clark sacrifice fly in the fourth inning.
Nice pitch there to the outside corner. Went to the inside corner for strike one, right back to the outside corner for the second strike.
Gerardo Parra on deck, and then Tony Clark. 1-1 game, bottom of the sixth inning here in Phoenix. John Lackey making his 9th start of the season. Began the year on the disabled list. Went 8 innings in his last start. A loss to the Dodgers on Sunday. The 1-2 check swing, and Reynolds, for the 101st time this season, strikes out. 5th strikeout for John Lackey.
You see both pitchers giving up a unearned run. Both guys just very impressive.
So with one away, here's Parra, grounded into a double play in the first and then bounced out to second in the fourth inning. We have mentioned throughout the telecast it is 70s day here in Phoenix. And I brought up the fact earlier that 40% of current Major League ball players were born in the 70s. Most hits among all players born in the 1970s, Pudge Rodriguez.
That's interesting. I would have probably guessed a few others, but
most home runs, A-Rod.
Yeah.
In fact, he passed Reggie Jackson last night.
Yeah, that's right.
Now in 11th place all time with 564. Parra down on strikes, 3rd consecutive strikeout for John Lackey.
And John Lackey starting to really get it going now. A strikeout with the breaking ball of Mark Reynolds, and this is just gas upstairs and right by Gerardo Parra.
So here's Tony Clark. Reggie Jackson was 6th on the all-time home run list when he retired. 1987. He's
now 12th.
So Pudge the most hits among players born in the 70s. A-Rod the most home runs. Andy Pettit the most wins with 222. Best DRA among players born in the 70s. This one might surprise you. Joe Nathan.
Wow.
Of all the pitchers born in the 1970s.
That's good stuff. Joe Boy, how good is he, though? He has been terrific. I got him when he was a setup man for Rob Nin in San Francisco. And, well, you talk about game over for Dusty Baker and the San Francisco Giants. Once it got to the 8th inning, you got Nathan and Nin.
Fastball missing inside, 2-1. Tony Clark drove in the Diamondbacks run. So that's what I was doing when Chris was looking up Fred Lynn's roommate.
Fred Lynn and Lynn Swan, right.
I was counting up all the hits and the home runs and the wins from the 424 players who were born in the 1970s.
Well, it sounds like you might have been able to punch 50,000 ballots last night yourself.
It was a pretty long night. Full count, 3-2 on Clark. Miguel Montero waiting on deck. Should Clark reach? Payoff pitch from Lackey, and Clark goes down on strikes. Lackey strikes out the side in the 6th.
Yeah, that was good. It's a good mask. You wear the light mask or the heavy mask?
I wear that titanium. I went through like 2 or 3 of these. I know that heavier, they take more absorption.
Yeah.
I went to that titanium, and I've taken a couple good shots. It hadn't bothered me.
Yeah. I tried that titanium, and
perfect for you. Diamondbacks and Angels tied at 1. Both runs in the game have been unearned. Sean Rodriguez leading off for the Angels here in the top of the 7th inning against Doug Davis, who has allowed that 1 unearned run on 5 base hits. He has struck out 6. Rodriguez a strikeout and a walk today. Davis catching the outside corner, 2-1.
Sean Rodriguez not happy at all with that call from Angel Hernandez, the home plate umpire.
Angel Hernandez, who's wearing a microphone for us today. Off speed pitch, just missing away.
Angel been around a long time now, the veteran.
17 years.
From Miami.
Payoff pitch to Rodriguez, and he is down on strikes. 7th strikeout. We mentioned Hernandez wearing a microphone for us. He took a shot in the mask earlier today. Let's listen.
good shot, huh? Yeah. Felt my jaw pretty good. Yeah, that was good. It's a good mask. You wear the light mask or the heavy mask?
I wear that titanium. I went through like 2 or 3 of these. I know that heavier, they take more absorption.
Yeah.
I went to that titanium, and I've taken a couple good shots. It hadn't bothered me.
Yeah. I tried that titanium, and during spring training, the jolt that I took was amazing.
Smoked it. That's what you say it's like.
So I went back to the old school mask, because this one takes it best. Thanks, brother. Hefe!
As Lackey grounded out to the shortstop, Drew, you heard Angel Hernandez chatting with third base umpire Lance Barksdale.
Lance Barksdale. Talking, not everybody wears the same kind of mask. Sometimes, that's the old school mask, as you heard Angel Hernandez talk. Sometimes you see the hockey goalie type mask on some umpires. Everybody's different, even the umpires. I kind of like the back and forth with the umpires.
And it's great to hear the conversations that we normally would not hear. So we thank Angel for wearing a microphone for us this afternoon. The 0-1 to Figgins. 1 ball, 1 strike. John Figgins 0 for 2 with a walk in today's game. Came in hitting .325, 5th in the American League. The 1-1 from Davis, fouled back to the screen. Time now for Taco Bell. Bring the heat. As we check out today's starting pitchers, John Lackey and Doug Davis.
John Lackey, you see he's the much harder thrower. Doug Davis more relies on the movement of that cut fastball and the curveball.
And you had a look at the top speeds in each inning for both starting pitchers as Figgins drives one just foul.
Figgins just about caught lightning in a bottle on a cut fastball that didn't get inside enough. He just missed, giving the Angels the lead.
Fastball missing high, 2-2. Pitch 110 from Davis. Figgins down on strikes. 8th strikeout for Davis. 7th inning stretch time here in Phoenix. Is sponsored by Avodart, by Pepsi, every generation refreshes the world, and by Craftsman, trust in your hands. 1-1 game here in Phoenix, bottom of the 7th inning, bottom of the order. For the Diamondbacks, Miguel Montero leading off, and he takes a called strike. John Lackey has struck out the last 4 Diamondback batters he has faced.
Both starters just so impressive. You're into the 7th inning. Doug Davis giving up one run in 7 innings, and now John Lackey. Well, he's been a runaway locomotive the last couple innings.
Our statistician Marty Aronoff, who remembers the 70s very well, points out that it's appropriate on 70s Day. 2 starters pitching into the 7th, 2 throwbacks, nobody up in either bullpen.
That is a throwback. I think Doug Davis probably going to be allowed to hit for himself. We'll see. Due up third.
On the ground to the shortstop Ibar. 1 away. Now we see some action in the Arizona pen as Alex Romero steps to the plate.
Left fielder Alex Romero.
That's Big John Roush, all 6'11" of him, warming up in the pen. And Chris Young has grabbed a bat and moved the on-deck circle, so it looks like Doug Davis's day is done. That's a lot of D's.
A lot of D's.
Reminds me of my report card.
Davis allowing just the 1 unearned run in 7 innings of work. Two-0 from Lackey. Fastball in for a called strike. Three and 1. One out, bottom of the 7th inning. Alex Romero, 1 for 2 today. And the count is now full.
John Lackey just challenged Romero with a fastball down the middle at 88 miles an hour, and Romero was tardy.
Remember, log on to twitter.com/MLB on Fox. Have you tweeted yet today, Mark?
I have, yes.
Ball 4, so the Diamondbacks with a 1-out base runner. And the pinch hitter, Chris Young, will bat for Doug Davis, who is outstanding. Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, congratulates both John Lackey and Doug Davis for their strong performances today. Our MLB Clutch Performers of the Game presented by Pepsi. Learn more about the MLB Clutch Performer of the Month award at PepsiClutch.com.
Well, Doug Davis, his day is over, and once again Doug Davis going to have to hope upon hope that his offense can score a run or two for him. A lot to smile about. He was terrific today, and his counterpart John Lackey right there with him.
Chris Young batting just .201, although he's picked up the pace lately, batting .300 over his last 16 games. Romero takes his lead off first with 1 out as Young fouls it off. Darren Oliver up and throwing in the Angels pen.
The ageless left-hander Darren Oliver. He's found himself a good home the last 3 years in Anaheim. Angel Hernandez needs a few more baseballs. Too many of them getting fouled off. Oh, what a good pitch there by Lackey. Knee high outside corner. 0-2.
The 0-2, and Young goes down on strikes. 8th strikeout this afternoon for John Lackey.
And the struggles continue for Chris Young. A breaking ball down in the dirt, right over the top of it. John Lackey just continues to pour it on.
So with 2 away and Romero on at first, here's Felipe Lopez. Lopez 1 for 3, singled his last time up. Nothing in 1. Lopez has the last Diamondbacks hit back in the 5th inning. Angels won last night's game 12-3. This afternoon 1-1, bottom of the 7th inning. Lackey 8 strikeouts in all, including 6 of the last 10 batters. Each team with an unearned run. Angels scored a very unorthodox run back in the 6th inning. Eric Ibar laid down the bunt, came around to score on 2 errors. The 0-1 to Lopez, nice block by Napoli. Now 1-1.
Well, that saves 90 big feet right there. Good block there. Perfect technique from Mike Napoli. Late in the game, boy. You give up those extra bases on wild pitches / pass balls. They come back and get you. Just beautifully done there. There was nowhere for that ball to go. Good feet there from Napoli. Still takes an extra base hit now to beat you.
Angels really have an unsung catching tandem in Napoli and Mathis. You add up their numbers every year, and they've given Mike Scioscia terrific production.
We were talking with Scioscia this morning. He was just beaming about his 2 catchers. He was a pretty good one himself.
2-time All-Star. And the longest tenured manager in the American League. 1-2 on Lopez.
Lackey throwing a lot of breaking balls now, a lot of really good breaking balls. This is going to be pitch number 106. Another breaking ball, got him.
Strikeout number 9 for John Lackey. We move to the 8th. Angels with Ibar, Abreu, and then Torrey Hunter due up. Relief of Doug Davis, the 30-year-old right-hander, the tallest pitcher in baseball history. Here is the Zantac relief pitcher profile for John Roush. Heartburn, attack it, Zantac.
Everybody thinks when you talk about tall pitchers, Randy Johnson's the first one to come to mind, the tallest. No, John Roush has got Randy Johnson by 1 inch. Randy's 6'10", John Roush 6'11". And never played basketball.
No?
No.
Wow.
Always been a pitcher.
Randy's also got about 275 career wins.
Very well said.
1-1 to Ibar. Everybody in this stadium remembers what happened the last time Ibar came to the plate.
Oof.
Leading off back in the 6th inning.
Diamondback fans are trying to forget it.
On the ground to the second baseman, Lopez. 1 away. Well, earlier today, Chris Rose spent some time moonlighting as a member of the grounds crew. Let's listen.
Oh yeah, this is filthy over here. How do you guys work here? This is terrible. My kids don't make this much of a mess. Oh geez, sorry. Now how do I get out of here? It's not going very well.
Man, Chris, get out of the way.
I got stuck, guys. It was like the 405-101 interchange in Los Angeles. I had no place to go.
It's not as easy. Not as easy as it looks, is it?
No, they said once they drag the field, don't step on the stuff. I was caught in the middle. But, you know, a lot of people are going to give those guys grief because they don't even have a tarp in this building because they've got a retractable roof. But you know what they said? I talked to Grant Trentpeth. He is the head groundskeeper here. Let me do that for a little while. And he said the toughest part is this place doesn't get enough sunlight. They have to use artificial lighting in right center field a lot of the time. Make the grass grow. And also where the umpires stand. They shred that area up behind first base.
My question, Chris.
Yes.
Did they let you keep the shirt?
No comment.
What about the shorts?
Well, the shorts are mine.
Ah.
They didn't have shorts big enough to fit me in.
You have gone through a number of wardrobe changes today. As Bobby Abreu flies out to Romero in left.
Yeah, I just suggest with those wheels you've got there, Chris, make sure you wear long pants next time.
Harry, you like those?
Yeah,
those.
Look at those wheels.
That's a bad look, huh? Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, you got bigger calves than that fella.
Yeah, pants next time. Pants, Rose. Mental note.
Chris, did Torrey Hunter catch a glimpse of you working with the grounds crew?
No, he was embarrassed. He turned and ran. It's like, I'm getting out of here. I don't even know you. And that guy had a hog on his head earlier today during the pregame show.
Hey, Chris, how long ago was that Torrey Hunter bowled you over at the plate?
A couple of years ago, yeah.
You still feeling the effects of it?
You know, everybody thinks I got the bad end of that deal. Like I said, I held on to the ball. That's all that matters, right, Gracie?
Well, yeah, absolutely. The bottom line is if it was actually a play, he would have been out.
Yeah.
And you could have done your Pudge Rodriguez and just held the ball
That's
up.
What
like,
I did. I
should have done that.
Yeah, go back and see the replay. It's.
We'll have to rewind the tape. Reynolds. Clark off the bag, but he lays down the tag on Hunter. So a 1-2-3 eighth inning for John Roush. One more look.
Oh, my.
By Smirnoff Ice. Please drink responsibly. By Catawet. And by Hyundai Assurance. A little certainty in uncertain times. Bottom of the 8th inning here at Phoenix. Angels and Diamondbacks tied at 1. 38-year-old Darren Oliver coming out of the Angels pen. On the first pitch, Stephen Drew grounds out to the first baseman, Rob Quinlan. Darren Oliver in his 22nd professional season. He's pitched for 8 teams. How about this note, Mark, on Darren? Darren and Nolan Ryan are the only players who have played for the original 4 expansion franchises. The Mets, the Angels, the Astros, and the Rangers. Upton right back to the box. 2 pitches, 2 outs. So Nolan Ryan and Darren Oliver, the only 2 players who have played for the original 4 expansion franchises. Darren's dad, Bob, was a teammate of Nolan Ryan with the Angels back in the early 70s.
Bob Oliver, I remember that.
Wow.
Now, see, Chris can't get those kind of numbers.
No, he's too busy with the grounds crew. Here's our Smirnoff Ice game summary. How often do you see this? Eric Ibar scores on a leadoff bunt. That took place back in the 6th inning. And terrific performances from both starting pitchers. Mark Reynolds, strike 1.
Well, the big 3 for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Drew, Upton, and Reynolds, due up here, and Darren Oliver making it look easy so far. 2 pitches, 2 outs, and now strike 1 on Mark Reynolds before missing inside.
Reynolds scored the Diamondbacks' only run back in the 4th inning. A look at Oliver's numbers this season. His 25th appearance. 1-2 now on Reynolds. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Darren Oliver, a lot like Doug Davis in the way that he goes about attacking right-handers. The cut fastball, likes to pitch them in, keep that ball right on their belly button. Don't let guys like Mark Reynolds get those big arms extended.
Payoff pitch to Reynolds, outside, ball 4. So Reynolds walks for the 2nd time today. Our Diamondbacks in-game box score brought to you by Hyundai. Introducing the all-new 306 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe. Only 5 hits for the D-backs. Clark driving in Reynolds with a sacrifice fly back in the 4th inning. Reynolds on first following his walk. 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th. Gerardo Parra at the plate. Came up in a big spot in the 1st inning with the bases loaded, but bounced into a double play. Parra has not gotten the ball out of the infield today. He's 0 for 3.
He was the #1 position player prospect coming into this spring of 09. And because of injuries, finds himself in the major leagues. And got Reynolds picked off.
Reynolds caught the rundown. And that will do it for the Diamondbacks here in the 8th. We move to the 9th. Rivera, Napoli, Quinlan due up for the Angels in a 1-1 game.
I wasn't even going. Pretty good move.
I thought you might have been going. I would have gone. Hey.
I wasn't even stealing right there. I wasn't even going. Pretty good move.
Well, I think Darren Oliver got away with a balk there. He really didn't step towards first base. So Mark Reynolds, he was saying, man, I wasn't even stealing there. That's just a good move. Yeah, it is. If they don't call it a balk, it's a real good move.
Reynolds tagged out for the final out of the 8th inning. Chad Qualls out to pitch here in the 9th for the Diamondbacks, facing Juan Rivera, who takes a called strike. Rivera 1 for 3 today. Qualls is the Diamondbacks closer, 13 saves and 16 opportunities. Comes in at a tie game, 1-1, top of the 9th.
Heavy sinker and a heavy slider.
Off the fists. And the catch is made by the shortstop, Drew, for out number 1.
Catcher Mike Napoli.
So with 1 away, here's Mike Napoli, who has 2 hits today. Both teams scoring an unearned run. Diamondbacks in the 4th, the Angels in the 6th.
That's Brian Fuentes, the Angels closer.
Nothing in 1 on Napoli. Angels scored their run in what Mark referred to as a Little League home run.
Little League home run.
Perfect. A bunt by Ibar. Went all the way around on 2 errors to score back in the 6th inning. Napoli, deep center field. Cora on the run. He looks up. And Mike Napoli has given the Angels a 2-1 lead. We showed you his home run from a couple of years back, one of the longest in the history of this ballpark. Well, this one doesn't travel as far, but it gives the Angels a 2-1 lead in the top of the 9th.
And Napoli picks out a hanging slider from Chad Qualls. Now he hit a moonshot. Deep to center. Oh boy, just right in the middle of the plate, a cement mixer slider. Chad Qualls knew it was hit well. And he was right. It was hit really well.
3rd home run allowed by Qualls this season. 10th of the year for Napoli. Nothing in 2 now on Quinlan, who has struck out his last 2 times up. Quinlan down on strikes. Our Hyundai in-game box score for the Angels. Introducing the all-new 306 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe. 3 hits for Napoli, including a tie-breaking home run here in the 9th. Sean Rodriguez 0 for 2 with a walk. Mark, did you know that Mike Napoli is the all-time leader among catchers in home runs per at-bat?
I did not know that. I knew he had big power.
He homers every 16 at-bats. Highest ratio all-time for a major league catcher.
Wow, that's That's pretty good. 1 every 16. I think back in the day, guys like McGuire, they were doing like 1 every 10 or 11, something like that. All time. That includes like Carlton Fisk and Johnny Bench and all the greats.
Piazza. Backhanded by Reynolds. So we head to the bottom of the ninth with Parra, Clark, and Montero due up. Mike Napoli has given the Angels a 2-1 advantage. Mike Napoli has given the Angels a 2-1 lead as he took Chad Qualls deep in the top of the ninth inning.
Oh, look at that. Just perfect right in line and just leaning back and just destroying the baseball. That angle just was perfect. What a beautiful swing that was.
So now Brian Fuentes tied for the major league lead with 20 saves this season. A 3-time All-Star with the Colorado Rockies. He will try and close things out for the Angels.
Used to call this, throws it like T-Rex. Got kind of a chicken wing release, but he throws very hard.
Parra was at the plate back in the 8th inning when Reynolds was caught in the rundown. So Gerardo Parra leading off, bottom of the 9th inning. Parra 0 for 3. The 1-2 from Fuentes. Fly ball left field. Juan Rivera moving to his right, makes the catch in foul territory for out number 1. Great job by our entire crew today here in Phoenix. Our producer Jeff Gowan, director Ray Tipton, associate director Eric Billigmeyer, broadcast associate Yvonne Wagner. Our technical producer is Dave Hill. The technical director is Rick Tugman. The pregame show produced by Don Bowie. The highlights coordinator Janice Casaza. The technical supervisor is Jack Simmons. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. The executive producers David Hill and Ed Gorin. Tony Clark at the plate. Home runs in each of his last 2 games. He drove in the Diamondbacks' only run today on a 4th inning sacrifice fly. Thanks to Marty Aronoff crunching the numbers here in the booth. Scott Snyder as well. 0-2 on Clark.
And Fuentes always had the good fastball today. He's got his good breaking ball as well, throwing it for strikes.
The 0-2 from Fuentes in the dirt. 1-2. Angels 12-4 in interleague play. They won last night's game 12-3. A squeaker today, 2-1. An unconventional run in the 6th inning. A Little League home run, and then a Major League home run in the 9th. Off the bat of Mike Napoli. It traveled 428 feet.
He just blasted it way above the batter's eye in center field. Big Tony Clark now trying to do the same here for the Diamondbacks. Tie the ball game.
Full count.
Pretty good pitch there from Fuentes. Didn't get the call.
Clark 2 for 6 lifetime against Fuentes. Miguel Montero on deck. 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning. 2-1 Angels. Payoff pitch to Clark. Check swing. Foul. So Clark stays alive.
And that was just survival mode right there for Tony Clark. Cheating a little bit to get to the fastball from Fuentes. Couldn't hold up. Ended up just shanking it foul. Living to see another pitch.
Clark down on strikes. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, this is just no nonsense baseball right here by Brian Fuentes. Fastball right down the middle, challenging Big Tony Clark. Do it right by him.
So A.J. Hinch's Diamondbacks down to their final out. Miguel Montero 1 for 3. Ball 1. Diamondbacks led 1-0 after 4 innings. Angels with a run in the 6th. Napoli, a solo home run at the top of the 9th inning.
Shaves the outside corner with that fastball. Just a perfect pitch.
Diamondbacks without a hit since the 5th. Angels 2 runs, 6 hits. Diamondbacks 1 run on 5 hits. The 1-1 to Montero. Base hit up the middle. So the Diamondbacks stay alive. The tying run is on at first.
Well, Miguel Montero stays on a breaking ball from Fuentes nicely. This ball starts right at him. Doesn't try to pull it, just drives it right back up the box. Diamondbacks still alive here. They're going to go to Ryan Roberts. He's going to hit for Alex Romero.
Roberts with a team-leading 5 pinch hits this season, 5 for 19. As a pinch hitter. First pitch from Fuentes, in for a called strike, 0-1. So Montero on at first, following his 2nd hit of the game. The 0-1 to Roberts, 0-2.
He was reared back through that one right by Ryan Roberts.
Artie Moreno, owner of the Angels.
He's got to be enjoying what he's seeing.
Diamondbacks down to their final strike. The Texas Rangers will host San Diego later tonight, so a win by the Angels and they would pull into a tie for first with Texas in the American League West. A reminder, check local listings for the game and time in your area next week on Fox Saturday Baseball. The All-Star Game on Fox Tuesday, July 14th. The 0-2 to Roberts, check swing, ball one.
Diamondbacks have only won 2 series at home all year long, Kenny. Here we are in late June. They've only won 2 series all year long at home. And they're 1 out away from guaranteeing another loss of a series.
A called strike 3, save number 21 for Brian Fuentes as the Angels win the second of this 3-game series by the score of 2-1 on Mike Napoli's 10th home run of the season. There's Ibar. His legs generated the first Angels run. We'll return to Phoenix right after these messages from your local Fox station.